Regular BBC daytime viewers will recognise these giants of the antiques world who light up our screens with their wisdom and charm.
I've more than doubled their money.
But what sort of things do our experts get up to when they're not on the telly? Well, we're about to find out, as over the course of 1 week, we'll be seeing one pair of plucky heavyweight dealers face a different daily challenge. Some of those challenges will be familiar territory.
Yes.
Some will be pitching our experts into the unknown.
Bang, bang, bang.
They'll be going head-to-head in a battle for profit, showing us how they've risked their own money and reputations by recreating some of their real-life deals.
Profit, profit, and more profit.
And if the stakes weren't high enough already, each expert has a favourite charity that will be benefiting from their profits. The challenge to our experts is clear. Put your money where your mouth is. Today's finely honed experts are the smooth-talking Jonty the Hitman Hearnden and the irrepressible Eric Knocker Knowles. Jonty's status as the housewife's favourite comes from rooting around for cash in the attic and globe-trotting on sun, sea and bargain spotting. Eric, meanwhile, is very much the senior professional, with 27 years under his belt on the Antiques Roadshow. And he never lets the side down when it comes to being the most dapper dealer in the business.
Sorry, can't stop.
So, our experts are ready and the stakes are high. With their reputations at risk, their own money on the line, and their favourite charity wishing them well, there's everything to play for. So what's today's challenge?
Mr. Hearnden.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning. I'm very well, thank you.
I've got a little envelope for you.
And surprise, surprise, I've got an envelope for you.
Oh.
So let's do the exchange.
Shall I read this one?
You go first.
It says, Jonty and Eric, your challenge today is to spend £500 of your own money on antiques.
Right, okay.
You must sell your purchases with the aim of making as much profit as possible. The winner is the presenter who makes the most cash.
Well, surprise, surprise. Today, you must buy all your antiques from an antiques market. And good luck.
I think we'll need it.
I think we'll need lots and lots of it. Okay.
See you there.
See ya.
Today, our dynamic duo are saddling up and trotting off to the Newmarket Antiques Fair, located at the famous Newmarket Racecourse in sunny Suffolk. Also famous for its jockey club and the National Stud, Newmarket's considered the nation's home of horse racing. So, with the bit between their teeth, let's find out what strategies our experts have arrived with today.
Well, my strategy today is going to revolve around the actual buying process, because I've decided to be a little bit more cheeky when it comes to getting a better price, because I've realised that the bigger the profit, the bigger the chance of meeting my main objective in life. And my main objective in life today is to beat that Jonty Hearnden.
We're glad to hear it, Eric, because Jonty the Hitman Hearnden is keen to beat you at today's game, which is buying goods at this antiques market and selling them on later.
So just arrived. It's always very exciting. There's always a buzz at the beginning of a market day. Now, my hunch is that because this is going to be predominantly a tabletop fair, there's going to be lots of smaller objects. And so therefore, Eric is going to find that more difficult to scour quickly. I'm going to have a quick look around for the more decorative objects, because I want to be the first past the winning post.
Fighting talk from the Hitman, and having drawn up their strategies, our two runners are under starters' orders, and they're off. As the search for potentially profitable antiques begins, Eric's sticking to the outside whilst jockey Jonty heads for the inside rail, where he's hoping the going will be a bit more favourable.
That looks very interesting. Follow me. This is a marriage chest, and ordinarily, painted on the front here will be initials of the newly married couple, often a date as well. But this is the original, lovely, beautiful colour. This is very, very commercial at the right price. Now look, we've got the old lock that must be hidden underneath here. We've got what looks like to be an original key. And look at these lovely chunky handles on the side. Aren't those fantastic? Those are all hand forged. So let's have a look on the inside. Ooh, look at this. This is oak on the inside here, and this is a little candle box. On the inside here, you would have kept your candles. So we've got the original hinges on the inside. This is the original interior, but look at this. This is pine, and this is oak. And as a consequence, the people that made this would have always have considered this piece of furniture to be painted. It's got this lovely dome top to it, and it's really tactile. So you can imagine this sitting at somebody's foot of a bed. Really beautiful. I think it's lovely. So it's all down to price, really. Excuse me.
Whilst Jonty checks the latest odds on the marriage chest, Eric's considering a flutter on a firm favourite.
Well, I've found a stand here full of fabulous things, and I want to buy the lot. But, as you know, I've only got £500 to spend, and it would be very tempting to spend the lot on one item. And I'm just rather smitten with not one, but a pair of candlesticks. And from 100 yards, if you know your Liberty pewter, then you would recognise these for being by that designer Archibald Knox. Now, the interesting thing about this pair is that they've got their original sconces with their integral drip pans. Now, this wide bit here is the drip pan, and this central area here is the actual sconce. Now, I know this is out of my league, because this is Premier stuff, and at the moment I'm down there in the second division when it comes to money. But, I mean, a chap can dream. How much are we asking for the pair of sticks?
They're 1,800 for the pair.
But thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm not a player. So
but they are very beautiful.
They are beautiful. I'll go with that, but I can't afford them.
That's a crushing disappointment for knocker Knowles. But with a maximum of £500 to spend, he'll have to rein himself in and focus on what he can afford, because that is the name of the game. Meanwhile, his opponent has quickly got into his stride and is lining up his first potential bargain.
Can you tell me more about it?
It's actually Danish.
Yeah.
It's Danish marriage chest.
Yeah.
It's got its key and lock, which is quite useful actually.
Yeah.
It's about 1890-ish.
Yes. And have you done much to it?
There's a few screws which I've replaced, that's all, but apart from that, it's in prime condition.
So I see we've got a ticket here of 345. What's your trade price on it?
300.
What about 280? Because I'll buy it then.
Yeah, okay.
Shake hands on it.
Thank
I
you,
think it's
sir.
really very, very nice.
What a skillful piece of manoeuvring there from the hitman. Bagging himself an incredible £65 reduction on the chest, he's galloped away into an early lead, and he's delighted.
That's amazing, amazing. I'm on a genuine high. £280, it's a real bargain. Now, to the right buyer, that's worth an awful lot of money. And the great thing is, it's such a wonderful thing because it's so hot in the market. People just want that look. Can you imagine, at the foot of a bed? Oh, I just got to find the right buyer.
With Jonty setting off at a cracking pace, it looks like knocker Knowles is going to need a carrot to get him galloping.
Well, I've been here the best part of an hour and I've not bought a thing. I've seen a few things in there which have got a very, very small margin, and what I'm doing at the moment is I'm trying to get through as much of this fair as I can, because it's all over the place. It's in the courtyards, it's in the main hall, it's upstairs. You know, sometimes you arrive at a fair and you think, it's here if I keep looking for it. And I've got that feeling at the moment. I don't know what they call it, but I know it's here. And believe me, I'm looking for it.
Yes, we're pleased to hear it, Eric, because you need to up the pace, and fast.
I know that view from somewhere. Would you just move along, please?
Whilst you're trotting about in search of that elusive bargain, Jonty's at full gallop, and with ears pricked and primed, he spotted another attractive bet.
Now, I'm always a sucker for small little English quirky bits of furniture. Now, this is a little magazine rack, a newspaper stand, often known as a Canterbury. And it's brass, and you've got these lovely two divides with the handle that I'm holding here. Not only that, we've got this tripod base, and as you can see, it swivels, so therefore it rotates, like so. And it's just fabulous, wonderful little bit of Edwardian design, turn of the century, 100 years old. Quirky. Look at the price, 85 quid. If I can get that for less, nice little profit. I just think it's a charming piece of furniture. Excuse me, what's your best price on this? Would you take 50?
No,
I'm
afraid
being
not.
cheeky.
No.
I am being cheeky.
60.
£60?
Yeah.
You have a sale.
Okay.
I'll buy it from you. Good.
Right.
Here we go. I've got some money for you.
Yes, the hitman's on form today. That's another brilliant purchase.
There you go.
And yet
Thank you very
again,
much.
he knocks a
Cheers,
hefty
bye-bye.
sum off the asking price. Meanwhile, all rise. For Eric has finally done his duty for Queen and country.
Well, I've just spent the princely sum of £10 on a portrait of Her Majesty the Queen. This one dates to 1953, the year of her coronation, and that is a photographic portrait by the society photographer Dorothy Wilding. I was delighted to pick it up. It was made by Tuscan China. Now, Tuscan is a very underrated factory because they did make some excellent bone china. Well, I'm hoping to turn my my £10 into £20 or even maybe a little bit more. There is one dealer that I know in London who specialises in these royal commemoratives, and I'm hoping that he's going to say yes to Her Majesty.
And who wouldn't, Eric? But with only 2% of your budget spent, Mr. Knowles, I don't think you're at the front of the queue to be made a Knight of the Barter just yet. Jockey Jonty, however, is still powering round the course, and he's applying a determined focus on the big, bountiful beauty.
Now, this is interesting. Take a look at this. This is a hanging corner cupboard. So this would be suspended in the corner of a room. And we've got a single door here, and it's painted. Now, this is Scandinavian, just like the dome trunk that I've purchased. And can you see that it's all hand-painted, and the date's 1791? And looking at the painting, looking at the actual finish on the front, it has the feeling of being correct. So this is the door, and look, we've got the original key, just like my hinged trunk. Now, this is interesting. We've got these stamps on the inside of this door, applied to the inside of the door, and they're Swedish, which means this corner cupboard has to be from Sweden, because sometimes it's quite difficult to note which Scandinavian country painted furniture like this comes from, because we see so little of it. But this is lovely, lovely quality, and we've even got a hinge on the back. But interestingly, £950. It's worth every penny. That just shows you what a bargain I bought downstairs.
Well, bully for you, Jonty. You're off to a great start, but knowing you're a man of keen mind and cunning tactics, I don't suppose you'll be letting Eric in on your good fortune just yet.
How's it going, Knocker?
Well, you know, it's a bit tricky in there at the moment, you know.
So you're trying to tell me you've fallen on the first fence, yeah?
No, I'm not full on the first fence. I have to say that I've got my eye on a couple of things. In fact, you know, I've got as far as saying I've taken options on there.
Oh,
you know?
have you now?
I've not committed yet. Not totally committed.
Well, I may have bought a few things. I might not have bought a few things. But I'm not going to tell you.
Well, I don't want to seem churlish in any way, but to be frank with you, I really don't care. So as long as we're both parting on the same terms, I think we're even Stevens, don't you?
I'll see you at the finishing post.
I'll be there.
Well, those normally gentlemanly exteriors seem to be cracking under the strain of today's competition. They both want victory, and they want it bad. Remember, whatever they buy today, they have to be able to sell later at a profit. Both our antiques thoroughbreds started off with a maximum budget of £500 each. Jonty has burst out of the stalls, spending £340 on just his first two purchases, leaving him up to £160 still to spend. Eric's race has got off to a slow start. He's bought just one item for £10, leaving him up to £490 still in his kitty. So, with our two valiant antique steeplechasers halfway round the course, it's looking like Knocker Knowles is getting ready for the knacker's yard as he continues to find the going heavy. But prancing thoroughbred Jonty is in fine fettle and looks almost uncatchable.
That's a very nice quality table, that. So how many bits of the fret have you got? Two. How long have you had it? Is this a recent acquisition?
Yeah,
is it?
literally.
Yeah.
Days ago.
Right.
So hence, we haven't done into it.
It's all hand carved as well. Look at that. So how many good order frets have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 good ones. I think it's really good quality. And date-wise, we're certainly looking 19th century, aren't we, I think?
So, yeah.
Yeah, and the workmanship. Can we have a look at this top as well? Because I think this is fabulous. And look at all of this is brass inlay work here, and all of this would be hand cut out.
If he can get it for the right price, it looks as though Jonty could be galloping off with another potential winner, but it's going to take a lot of work to get that table in a saleable condition. Maybe the hitman should try thinking a bit smaller, something that Eric is more than happy to do.
Well, this may not be the biggest piece of pewter on this stand, but for me it's the prettiest. And why do I like it? Well, first of all, let me just explain it. It is a solifleur. It's to take a single flower. So, strictly speaking, you don't really need a pair. But it's just the balance of it, that lovely tapering neck. Reminds me of a mill chimney from my old part of the world. But that base, it's just nice and domical. And there it is, cast with these flower heads. It has to be Liberty. Well, it says on there, Tudrick. And it's got a number sequence as well, which says 818. And the earlier the number, the earlier the piece, because they introduced this range in around about 1901, 1902. So I like that, but I also like this, which is going up a peg in scale on size, a 2-handle vase, very simplistic. This is also made for the firm of Liberty & Co. It's also Tudrick pewter, inset with a polished cabochon in Connemara stone, not one but 2, all original. This particular piece, if my memory serves me correct, was designed by a man called Oliver Baker. Now, Oliver Baker was yet another independent designer that Arthur Liberty employed on his Tudrick range of pewter. Very affordable for the masses in comparison to his silverware. So it's all really a matter of, you know, can I afford both? Well, I've still got plenty of money in the pocket, so we'll do some asking.
Oh, go on, Eric. Ask.
Dare I ask, if I was to offer £230, whether that might find favour or what?
$230 for both.
£230 for both if I take them both.
Okay.
Well done, Knocker. That is a mighty purchase. With nearly half his budget spent in one fell swoop, Eric's coming up on the rails like a true thoroughbred. And Jonty needs to do a deal on that table if he wants to keep his nose in front.
What's your very best price?
£40.
£40?
Yeah, 40 is the best price.
Now, I have a general rule of thumb, as far as I'm concerned, is that I never buy anything that's unduly badly damaged, however nice it is. But I think at £40, this is such a beautiful piece of furniture, such a work of art, that I'm going to be buying it from you because I think it's lovely.
So no let up in the pace from the hitman, and he's certainly not afraid of a gamble. Despite the missing fretwork on that table, he's bartered his way to another fantastic deal, and he couldn't be happier.
From one winner to another, this table is superb quality. Now, I've broken all my golden rules. I never buy things that are damaged, but the quality of this is superb. It really, really is wonderful. Now, there are going to be dealers out there that are going to be interested in trading with this kind of quality, but I've got to find them. I don't know them at the moment. I think it's wonderful.
So, whilst our prancing pony canters off with his Indian table, our determined warhorse continues to hunt out those deals. And it looks like this old stayer's persistence could be about to pay off.
Interested in a couple of things. First of all, I rather like the look of... Is it all there? Yes. It's got a price tag of 180. Could I... Let me pass it to you.
We can do it for 160.
160?
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing was this... Oh, it is a Royal Lancastrian, yeah.
Yep.
All there?
Yep, all there.
No restoration?
No resto, no damage.
Okay. Let's say 65. Dare I ask?
We can do that for 50.
50. Okay. You've just made 2 sales. Thank you very
great.
much.
Thanks very much.
Okay. I will be paying.
Nice work, Eric. And did you work in a cheeky haggle there as well? And about time too.
So what did £210 just buy me? Well, first thing it bought me was this piece of glass, and it's a nice piece of glass. It's a piece which dates from around about 1900, and it was made in Austria by a firm called Lurtz. And they made some very, very fine quality pieces. And here's a sign of quality on a piece. You see, this is a pontil mark, which has been ground away. That would have been stuck onto a pontil rod when it was being made. It's got this lovely iridescence. It's a nice sort of flower head shape. Now, I just paid £160 for that, and I'm looking at this somewhere between, £250. I don't think I'm going to get £300 for it, but there is money to be earned on that one. Now, as for the vase, I can tell you that this was made by Pilkington's Royal Lancastrian Pottery, and this is one of their monochrome wares, and the mark on the base tells me that it probably dates to around about 1915 to 1925. Cost me £50. I'm not going to make a huge amount on this one, I will admit. If I can make £25, £35, I'll be very, very happy. So the main thing is I'm spending money to make money and not lose it. I just wonder what that Hearnden's found in there that I might have missed. It nags at me all day, you know.
Nags at me. Racecourse, very good. As they enter the home straight of today's challenge, our two horsemen of the antiques apocalypse are neck and neck. But Jonty is determined to find a final piece that will make him the favourite to make the biggest profit when our experts try to sell their wares.
This is all Cornish ware, yes?
Yes, Jonty. 2G grains,
Yes.
round about the 1930s.
Can I have a look at
Yes, yes.
That's nice because we've got the ridge on the side here, because there's lots of reproductions of these now,
There
aren't
is,
there?
and as you say, the ridge is the giveaway.
Yes.
And
yeah.
obviously the green stamp underneath.
Yeah. Now, when I was a kid, this was known as Cornish ware, and I assumed that this was made in Cornwall.
Oh, yes, yes.
I think a lot of people must make
Yes,
that mistake,
yes,
yes?
yes.
But it's, of course, made in Stoke-on-Trent.
Stoke-on-Trent.
And I think the reason why they called it Cornish ware was because this was meant to represent the blue of the sea, and this was meant to be the white of either the froth of the sea or the clouds. And have you got one with an example of writing on the side? Oh, there you go.
Flower.
So what sort of price are you asking for an object like that?
She's got £55 on that.
OK. And one without the writing?
Round about 45. I date that round about the 30s.
Yes, that makes sense to me. Yeah, very, very nice indeed.
Very nice quality.
But sadly for me, I don't think there's enough profit in that for me. I think they're nice collector's items, and I really would also be interested in the whole set,
Yes.
because a nice big set
Yes.
always makes some kind of impact.
Exactly.
Just one object, difficult to pass
difficult.
that on.
I know.
So it sounds like Jonty could fall at the final hurdle. He just doesn't have enough cash to splash on the kitchenware, but that doesn't stop him from spreading a little negative publicity about his opponent.
I have to warn you,
Yes.
there is one dodgy buyer in this whole site here.
Is there?
Yeah. All right, he's got a bit of a northern accent, all right?
Yes.
Used to have a moustache.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes,
Do you know kind of like know the man I'm meaning?
I think it might be Eric Knowles.
Be warned.
Oh, that's a bit below the belt, Hitman. We were hoping for a gentlemanly contest today. But halfway through today's challenge, Knocker Knowles is brushing off Jonty's harsh words and making a final sprint for the finishing post.
Well, I'm drawn to this dish, or this shallow bowl, for the simple reason that it's got this Lancastrian rose. But this was never made in Lancashire, but it was made a little bit further north, because it was made in what used to be Cumberland, which is now Cumbria. And the mark is there on the base, the Keswick School of Industrial Art. And it's a pleasing dish. It's not silver. It's a material which they call stay bright. Now, pretty certain this one is sort of late 30s. It might even be 1950s. Well, there's a price tag here of £75. I ain't got £75. Is there any point at all me offering you 50?
There's always a point of asking.
Yes.
And you can have it for £50.
Well, I'll have it for £50
Good,
then. OK,
good.
reach over and grab that hand.
Thank you very
OK.
much indeed.
Thank you.
Knocker's charm has knocked £25 off this stay bright dish, and he's spent up. After a slow start, Eric really turned this race around, but Jonty's got a late surprise up his sleeve.
Sold. sold to me. Take a look at this. Now, this is a padded stool known as an ottoman, and it's 19th century. It doesn't look it because it's covered in a relatively modern fabric, I suppose, but it needs to be put together properly. I mean, have a look at this. If you look at the side here, hasn't been done particularly well. So if I was to get this into an upholsterer, get a proper job done on it, it will be totally transformed. And if I get a new, modern, maybe even a jazzy, funky fabric on it, it will be totally transformed. So this is a hinged lid ottoman. Have a look at this. Here we've got the pine carcass, and have a look at this. This is the original paper on the inside. And it smells all musty too. So this would have been originally covered possibly in the silk and all sorts of different kinds of fabrics. It would have once upon a time looked very, very Victorian. But the great thing about objects like this is that once you recover them, you completely transform the object, and it's absolutely legitimate to do so. It's absolutely fine, so I'm very pleased. Price tag, look at this, £40. I managed to get it for 30. Once it's redone, recovered, big profit.
Yes, that's another great deal for the Hitman. And we've reached the finishing post for the buying stage of today's challenge. It's time to find out who's put in a pedigree performance and who's been put out to grass. So far today, Antiques thoroughbred Hitman Hearnden cantered out with £500 of his own money. But after a flying start, he's only spent £410. Knocker Knowles has made steadier progress and spent every penny of his £500 budget. Our ultra-competitive pair have raced around today's antiques market, but before they head off to try and make a profit on what they've bought, they're desperate to cast their eyes over their opponent's goods.
Wait, Eric?
Yes.
Is that it? I mean, has somebody nicked the contents of your boot already?
Well, you know, you're a furniture man, I'm a smalls man.
But isn't it interesting, actually, where our eyes have gone and what we've bought?
Yes, because my eyes would never have gone anywhere near that. I've got to say that. And,
So did you enjoy it?
well, yeah, I did. I think once I started spending some money, I did. But what about you?
Well, I enjoyed the market. There was an awful lot to see, and I bought a few objects that might need a bit of work doing on them if I can't sell them quickly. So, you know what they say, you buy in haste and repent at leisure.
You ain't going to have much in the way of leisure time there, mate, are you? You're not. Anyway, good luck.
Good luck to the selling.
And you too.
See you soon.
See you whenever.
So, at today's antiques market, Jonty bought a Danish marriage chest, a Canterbury magazine rack, a hardwood Indian table, and a Victorian ottoman. Eric bought a pewter bud vase, a Lurtz glass bowl, a Pilkington vase, a Keswick stay-bright dish, a pewter vase, and a portrait of the Queen. So, after jockeying for position at the Newmarket Antiques Fair, our two experts have arrived home and are getting ready for the second and most crucial part of today's challenge. The aim now is to sell the items they've bought for as much money as possible. Having bought 6 lots to Jonty's 4, Eric is looking forward to making the most profit. But there's a long way to go before this race is run, and they've both been drawing up plans that they hope will make them the most money.
Well, I'm now back from Newmarket, and it's a matter of finding the strategy for what I've bought. Now, I've concentrated on buying things from primarily the first quarter of the 20th century, apart from the coronation piece. Now, I do know a royal memorabilia dealer. I'll be giving him a ring about that one. And as for the Tudor pewters, there's 2 or 3 people that I'm going to get on the blower to. As for the Pilkington pottery, well, I've got contacts.
Right, well, I've just got back from Newmarket, and I've only bought 4 items. The dome trunk, I think, is fabulous, really good quality, the painted one. And the stool, the Ottoman stool, appalling covering, but once that might be recovered, if I can get that recovered, I think there's a huge profit in that. So those 2 items, I can see definite profits.
Well, they both sound confident, but there can only be one winner today, and having been under starters' orders since they returned home from the Antiques Fair, our profit-hunting pair are now off in search of the first sale.
Well, I'm in a very pretty part of Kent. I'm in the antique village or small town of Westerham, and many moons ago this place was just full of antique shops. Today there are a few, but more importantly there is this particular gallery that specialises in Art Deco and arts and crafts.
Well, Mr. Knowles seems bright-eyed, bushy-tailed and full of optimism about sealing his first deal. His rival, on the other hand...
Well, I feel like I'm driving a hearse at the moment because I've got my big trunk in the back. Now, I'm taking this along to show to a friend of mine who is very interested in it, but I'm not sure whether she wants to pay the money that I'm asking for it because it's a fabulous quality item.
Well, Jonty's hearse is arriving, but will he be hearing the funeral march or the peal of bells after this potential sale? Remember, the marriage chest cost a whopping £280. If Jonty wants to make a profit on it, he's going to need all of that famous Hearnden charm.
Hello, my darling. How are you?
Hello, dear. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Let me see it.
Oh, it's so heavy.
Oh, heavy. Mind your back.
There we go. Now, how about that? Isn't that a lovely shape?
It is beautiful.
I love that sort of dome top to it. And it's also slightly flared as well. So the floor is slightly narrower than the top, so it's flared out at the sides as well.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely paint effect to it. What do you feel? What's your impression of it?
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yes?
It's different. I really like the colour. I like the shape. And I like the fact it's larger than your average trunk. And would this have been in the bedroom then, or...?
Yes. This is essentially, I suppose, a marriage chest. So the newlyweds would be given a trunk like this and stored with all the new materials, so like bed linen, etc., etc.
Lovely.
And again, look at this lovely big lock here. And all the ironmongery is all hand-forged. Can you see that?
How old is it?
It's mid-19th century, possibly earlier as well. The styles didn't change that rapidly, so you can't date it exactly. Sometimes you'd have little drawers at the bottom, so they do vary. But ordinarily, this is the shape, this is the style, this is the design. Now, when I was contemplating buying this, I was sort of thinking for the last 30 years, the fashion has been to strip furniture like this.
Yeah.
So strip pine furniture, for instance, has been all the rage. But now, I mean, certainly if you look at your kitchen, it just demonstrates just the fashion is to have timber painted. And so therefore, this sits comfortably in the more painted interior. So I think it's a wonderful thing.
Well, after all that doom and gloom in the car, the hitman's got the scent of a sale in his nostrils, and he's really hit his stride. Meanwhile, in Westerham, Jonty's arch-rival knocker Knowles is trying to get in first by selling this charming Tudoric vase that cost him £150.
Now, I'm attributing it to Oliver Baker because I cannot think who else it would be.
Yeah, it does have that sort of more weighty, chunky feel that Oliver Baker would have done in his design, with a little bit of adornment, so to speak.
Well, these are, I'm told, these are Connemara stones. It works quite well with that, almost like a mossy green, doesn't it?
Yeah. Also, there's this polished pewter, which is almost like silver. It used to be, as I'm sure you're aware, a lot of people would say you mustn't touch it, leave it to go grey, because that's its original patination, so to speak, and that will give it its credibility for its age. But generally, people like now to present it as it would have been in its proper day, 100 years ago. So more and more, and in fact we would do it ourselves even, is we would polish it back to that to give it that look.
Okay. The other thing is that I know it's got a little bit of a nibble there, but it's just, you know, obviously a little bit of sign of wear and tear. I mean, you know, it's easy to say, but it adds to its character.
So our two antique stallions have galloped out of the starting gate and waxed lyrical about their wares. But which one of them will be the first to seal a deal?
So if I can preempt your next question, and that in all probability is, how much do you want for it, Eric?
So how do you feel about it? Have I sold it to you?
I really like it. The question is, how much is it?
£400 is the price I'm looking for.
I would like, if possible, £250 for this this fine piece of arts and craft pewter.
I'm actually thinking more in terms of 175, 180.
I am tempted, but not at that price.
Okay.
I was thinking more sort of 300.
You're being cheeky. You definitely are being cheeky.
Worth trying.
If we could get nearer the £200 mark, we could do a handshake on that. So what do you think?
No, I think that's very fair. £200 for a piece like this between
Okay.
us is a good deal.
A happy compromise.
Indeed it is.
Oh,
Thank you very much, Eric.
Okay.
£200 for the Tudoric vase gives Knocker Knowles a £50 profit, and he's the first to do the deal. So, can Hitman strike back?
OK, got an idea. Let's split it halfway.
350.
350. Do that, and a cup of tea.
Perfect.
Done?
Done. Yeah.
Excellent. Right, no sugar for me. I'm sweet enough.
That's a sweet result for the Hitman. That chest cost £280, so he's banked a £70 profit. And after the first few sales, he's edged into the lead. And as the rain falls down, our two men continue to slog away with their selling. Eric's priority is to shift the Stay Bright Keswick dish.
Becky, hi. Thank you.
Go straight through.
I've got it with me. I'll tell you what, Becky, I'm glad to get rid of that raincoat. Do you know, I feel as though I've lived in that raincoat through this summer.
It's been awful, hasn't it?
Hasn't it just?
Awful weather.
Anyway, let me reveal all. There we go. One Keswick School of Industrial Art.
Thank you. Oh, wow, that's lovely, isn't it?
Oh, no, carry on, carry on. I like to hear it. I thought so, anyway.
You can actually see the hammered marks.
Well, to be honest, Becky, what attracted me to the bowl first time around was this sort of, as you mentioned, this hammered sort of surface. It's got a nice sort of, it's got a warm feel about it.
I mean, I'm not used to seeing the silver. I've seen sort of Keswick pieces in copper, but no, this is really rather lovely. Let's have a look.
It's in a form of steel, actually, because it's a sort of polished steel rather than silver.
Yes,
But anyway, have a look, because I thought the Tudor rose and the scent, it's just very simple.
Isn't it nonsense, isn't it? Yes, yes. Well, I think that's lovely. I think it's a very nice, solid piece.
Eric's client seems interested, but is she prepared to pay more than the £50 it cost him to buy?
Well, I think I'd probably be able to help you with about sort of £60, something like that.
OK. To be honest with you, I was hoping for 80, because, I mean, it's quite a, quite a good size. I've seen the smaller ones, and they're always at 50 or 60. So, to coin a well-worn phrase in our business, do you think you might be able to do a little bit better?
Well, I'll go up to 70, but that's absolutely it.
God, I can see that in your eyes. Yeah, 70.
Absolutely tops.
Absolutely tops?
Yeah?
Absolutely sold.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicely done, Knocker. Firm but fair, and that sale has moved Burnley's best antiques dealer into the lead.
Well, we're in the south of England, and yet the Keswick School of Industrial Art is obviously collectible in this part of Oxfordshire. So, not a big profit. I paid 50, sold it for 70, but it's £20, and it's £20 to rub in the face of that Jonty Hearnden character, the boy who would be king. I don't think so.
Eric's now sold 2 of his items and is pulling away from the young pretender to his throne. But the hitman is a cold-blooded antiques assassin with his sights set on becoming king. He might be lagging behind, but Jonty is determined to catch up, and he's hit the phone at Hearnden HQ to try and sell his magazine rack.
Hello, I wonder if you're interested in a revolving Canterbury. It's Edwardian, turn of the century, quite small, floor standing. You're not in the business of buying anything at the moment. OK. All right, then. OK, thanks. Bye-bye. That was short and sweet. A big no.
That's bad news for Jonty, and despite making more calls over the following days,
I'm not interested. OK. Bye.
he's struggling to find a buyer.
You sure? Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
And with only 4 items to sell, his chances of beating Eric are getting smaller and smaller.
So will you get back to me if you're interested? Yep, via the phone or internet, that's fine. Speak to you soon. Bye.
As Jonty stretches his contacts to the limit over that magazine rack, Eric thinks he might have a buyer who might make him a right royal earner.
I'm only looking for £15. It's a one-off price, Claire. You either want it or else, you know, if you don't, we're still friends.
No, I do.
You
I
do?
like it. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
That'll be cash. Is that okay?
That's fine.
Well, that wasn't too bad. I paid £10 for that object and I've just sold it for 15, so that's a 50% profit, and it'd be nice if I could make 50% on everything that I'm buying and selling, but this is a game of swings and roundabouts, and the nice thing to know is that that Queen Elizabeth II herself has played a small part in my attempts to knock the boy who would be king off his throne. Thank you, Mum.
It's been a hectic first round of selling for our pair of profit hunters, and having sold half of his items, Eric's decided to give his rival a ring to try and find out how he's getting on.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Hearnden.
Is that a
my
Mr.
dear
Knowles?
boy.
How are you doing? And how are you getting on selling your crockery? And you've got ironmongery this time, haven't you?
Yes. Oh, the crockery market. It's alive and well.
I thought you were about to say it's smashing, but that's the wrong thing to say, isn't it?
No. And as for the metalwork, that's a market you might describe as booming. So
I know scrap metal's doing quite well. You know, the prices are rising.
You cheeky monkey. Yeah, I think things are moving on. Yeah, I'm not disappointed.
Good.
Are you?
No. I've got my big storage trunk.
I think Paul Daniels would be the one for that, don't you?
That's a good idea.
He
Now
could
there's
bring
a
Debbie
thought.
on. You know, she could be in the trunk when he goes on stage. He drags it on.
Get back to work. You got some selling to do, Knowles. Take care.
Okay, and you too.
Bye. Cheeky chappy. I bet he's got everything still to sell. It's so funny. He's all mouth and no trousers, old Knowlesy.
Well, he's putting on a brave face, but at the halfway stage of selling, it's Jonty who needs to knuckle down and do some work. He's sold just one item and has got £70 worth of profit in his bank. His opponent, Knocker Knowles, has sold 3 of his items and has made a profit of £75. With both experts still having 3 items left to sell, today's competition could go either way. The King of Antiques is determined to hang on to his crown, though, and he's travelled to the capital to try and sell his Pilkington vase.
Well, I'm here in Miller's Hotel in Notting Hill Gate, and I've arranged to meet Tony Bidgood here because he's a dealer and collector in British art pottery. And no sooner said, the man's here.
Sure.
How are you?
Very well, thank you.
Come and have a seat.
Right.
Well, here's the pot in question. I know I emailed you an image of it. I can only hope that it looks better in the round than it does on your computer screen.
No,
but
it certainly does.
Have a fondle, because
Yeah.
pots are all about tactile,
exactly.
aren't they?
If it doesn't feel right, it's not right.
But
it's lovely. A nice glaze, lovely shape, and yeah, very good.
So yeah, it's got the Royal Lancastrian rose, and what else have you got? And made in England. So obviously post 1913. But very much an arts and crafts piece, and I love that glaze, that vellum-y glaze.
Yeah, lovely glaze, lovely shape as well.
This piece was probably made in around about, I would have thought, 1914, 1915. It could be about 1922 at a push. Monochromes, they've always been I hate to say it, a bit of a poor cousin in comparison to the lusterwares, but the lusterwares are so expensive. And from a shape point of view, this one is quite sort of sensual. It's sort of got the contours in a certain area, probably of Marilyn Monroe, but there again, I'm probably going through midlife crisis, and that sort of thing is going to, occur to a man of my age.
Come on now, Knocker, focus. It's time to sell the vase and see if you can make a profit on the £50 it cost.
To be honest with you, I started off looking for around about £90, but I've got to sell it, and to be frank with you, I've got to sell it today. So it's a sort of a one-off price, which is £70.
Well, that seems very fair.
Well, I'm not one to haggle.
No, I'll take it.
You see, I should have haggled. Good deal.
Well, he might not have haggled, but that's another sale, more profit, and Eric has stretched his lead.
Well, that's one piece of Pilkington's Lancastrian pottery that's found a happy owner. I'm a happy seller because I bought it for 50, I sold it for 70, £20 profit, £20 in the right direction. What is the direction, Eric? The direction is profit, profit and more profit. Because the mission, what's the mission, Eric? The mission is to beat that Jonty Hearnden. In fact, I find myself now chanting, must be Jonty, must be Jonty, must be Jonty, must be Jonty.
Well, whilst Eric's mantra is must be Jonty, Jonty's chant is must sell 2 items. He's got the Ottoman, which is causing him real difficulties, but his greatest problem is the magazine rack.
You expressed an interest in my Canterbury. Yes, that's right. It's turn of the century, brass, and it's got a little oak shelf, and it revolves as well, so it was designed to be placed beside a chair. That's right.
Well, as Jonty continues to struggle with his magazine rack, Eric's headed to the world-famous Liberty department store to try and return the small Liberty bud vase from whence it came.
Oh, yeah, good. Good to see you, Eric.
Good to see you. Yeah, sorry a little bit late, but...
That's OK, no problem.
Don't forget, he paid £80 for it at the antiques market.
I'd just be intrigued to have your thoughts as to exactly who you think may have been the designer there, because, you know, more often than not, everybody comes up with the name of Archibald Knox, but he didn't do everything, did he?
Didn't do everything, absolutely not. I mean, I think with this piece, I mean, you have this kind of crossover from designs. The shape is very Christopher Dresser. That's kind of like that sort of form coming from about sort of 1880, 1890. And then it's also, you've got Archibald Knox. So you've got this sort of whiplash design here, which is very Knox. Really, it's kind of a signature kind of detail of his. But then you've also got the flowers of Jesse M. King.
So it's almost making a return home journey, this little piece.
Absolutely. People come and they see it here and they recognise it as being part of Liberty's heritage.
Right. Well, it's all fascinating stuff, but we have to talk money. I'll be perfectly upfront with you, Patch. I mean, I was hoping to get £120 for that.
For me, it's more like £100. That's kind of where I am with it.
OK. Let's look at a halfway house, shall we? Let's both bite the bullet and consider 110.
OK, that sounds good.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. That's fine. Brilliant.
Put it there.
Lovely.
OK.
Yes, that's another £30 for Knocker Knowles, and the pressure is now really building on the hitman. So far, he's been firing blanks with that magazine rack. But he's decided to take a break from that and concentrate on that Indian table that he bought for £40.
Aha! You must be Richard.
I am.
Here's the table in question. Would you like to have a look
great.
at it? So, I just wonder what you thought about it. It's your gut feeling. What do you think about that?
I always look at these things with rather a lot of trepidation because invariably they're reproduction, but actually I can see that this is a reasonably early table, probably not over 100 years old. I would say somewhere in the 20s.
I was taken by the quality here, certainly the brass inlay and the ebony stringing.
And it's actually rather finely inlaid with brass work, very finely inlaid, in fact. Probably came from Serampore in the north of India. Probably brought back from India by somebody who was living out there. The big shame is that the carving is missing.
On this top panel here, yeah.
And also the 2 panels beneath it. To recarve that in my workshop would be far too expensive, but I do go out to India quite regularly. And a carving like this would probably, one panel would probably take a day and a half maximum to carve. The cost to recarve those panels could be done for around about £60.
Really? As little as that?
Yeah.
Obviously, that's completely out of the question for me to consider going to India to get it restored. I mean, my job is to sell, my job is to make a profit.
And don't forget, Jonty needs to sell the table for more than £40.
I'm looking for £240 for this table.
£240? That's a huge asking price, but the hitman's cool, calm, collected, giving nothing away.
If we could go for 200, I think we could do something.
200?
Bearing in mind I've got to get the carving done in India, I've got to carry it out there, have it carved, bring it back again and fit it.
I think we can do a deal. I think we can make a sale there, sir. That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Oh, what an amazing sale the hitman struck back, and he's delighted.
Well, how about that? Selling the table for £200. £200, the princely sum. The mogul princely sum of £200. Remember, I only paid £40 for it, and I didn't restore it, so I haven't paid a penny on restoration. I am so pleased.
Well, he might be gloating a little bit, but why not? That sale's rocketed Jonty into the lead, and now everything rests on the final 3 items. The hitman has the ottoman and the magazine rack left to sell, but Eric has his star buy, the blue Lurtz bowl, up his sleeve, and he's headed back to the town of Westerham to try and seal a deal.
Now, this is the piece in question. I know you've already seen it on the internet as an image, but it's better to see this piece in the round because all that glitters is not gold, but all that glitters is Lurtz glass.
Back at Hearnden HQ, Jonty's also working hard to persuade a buyer that the ottoman is the finest furniture he'll ever find.
It's Victorian.
Right.
And I noticed you were looking on the inside there.
Yes.
But as you can see, this is pine.
Right.
So the whole box itself will be a pine box. This would have been originally covered in some form of tapestry, possibly, sometimes silk. But ordinarily, it's fine, it's absolutely fine to replace a period piece of furniture like this in a contemporary fabric. Right. But I freely admit it's been done very, very badly. And the other thing is that the seat itself is very lumpy. If you feel across the top there, you can see just how lumpy that is. Oh, yeah. So I'm selling this as a refurbished box. So what I'm going to do is sell the item upholstered, so reupholstered. The material will be extra, so the price is £200 with it being freshly recovered.
Jonty's pulling out all his stops, and in Westerham, Knocker is working his magic, and it looks as though his famous charm is beginning to pay off.
Now, I really love these pieces, these Lurtz pieces. They're one of my favourite things.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think it's just incredible, this Art Nouveau glass. Possibly not signed.
No, but you've got that sort of ground pontil, which is usually a bit of a sign, isn't it? So.
Yeah, well, actually, amazingly enough, I have just bought. Wait for it.
I don't believe it.
I told you I like them.
You do, don't you? Let's just compare the... Oh, look at
I
that.
know. It's these wonderful sort of raindrop splashes, isn't it, that you find on these Lurtz pieces.
Yes, it looks like Eric's in the right place, but he needs to seal a deal for as much as possible because the hitman is about to go in for the kill.
Interesting, if you have, again, look on the inside there, can you see that this paper lining here, now that's the original lining to the box, and I quite like to see it like that. It looks a bit ropey, but I have to say that it's quite fun to see that.
And you wouldn't do anything with that? You just leave it?
You can refurbish the inside if one wishes, but personally I prefer to leave it as it is because it's in its original state. So transformed, it's, it will look good, I promise you.
With our 2 antiques titans working their socks off to seal a deal...
I've seen it often referred to as Kingfisher Green.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's still all to play for in today's competition.
Imagine going into a brand new furniture shop selling brand new wares. What can you get for a couple £100?
You wouldn't get anything like this for £200.
No.
It would cost you a lot more.
Exactly.
Whoever does the best deal will walk away as today's champion, because Jonty just cannot sell that magazine rack.
I've tried phoning at least a dozen dealers, but nobody's buying at the moment. It's probably because they haven't physically seen it and I haven't probably touted it around enough, but you can go on and on and on. But finally, I have to raise my hands and say, I surrender. I cannot do any more.
So, after slugging it out for weeks on end, how much cash have our experts actually made from racing around at the Newmarket Antiques Fair? Remember, Jonty spent a total of £410, whilst Eric went wild and blew the full 500. As usual, all profits will be going to charity. Now, neither of our experts know what the other has made, so just who is today's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is champion?
Eric, how you doing?
So what do you make of that?
What a challenge.
I forget New York, New York. I mean, Newmarket, Newmarket, because if you can make it there...
You can make it anywhere.
Exactly, exactly.
So you ready for this?
I'm ready, willing and able.
OK, here we go.
1, 2, 3.
Ta-da. Oh!
Oh! Listen, the fact is that whoever wins on this programme, you do know has to buy lunch.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to be defeatist, but I booked a table.
Yeah?
And I booked it in your name.
Well, lunch is on me then.
OK. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll do the vino.
As the chaps head off to lunch, it's time to reveal how much they made for their final deals.
All right, that's good.
After a quick haggle, Eric walked away with a £60 profit on his Lutz ball.
I'm happy, she's happy. What more can you ask for?
But Jonty bagged an astounding £170 profit on his ottoman.
Yeah, quite happy with that.
Yeah?
You got yourself a deal there.
We can shake hands on that
Yeah,
one?
thank you very much.
The ottoman was transformed by Jonty's upholsterer. He threw in the materials and his service for free in the name of charity. Take note, Eric.
I think the reason why I won was because I buy and sell on a daily basis from dealers, so I'm always looking to haggle, I'm always looking to get the best possible price. And I'm always looking for items I think I can just make a profit on.
I have to give it to that Mr. Hearnden. He did beat me by a full length.
Eric lost because, quite frankly, he had scrap metal to sell, and I know the market for scrap metal is kind of like falling, not rising at the moment.
I was buying objects with very tight margins. I mean, that was a fair where everybody seemed to know the price of everything, down to the nearest new penny.
Well, it's been a battle of epic proportions, but most importantly, both our brave warriors have made a profit, and those profits will be going to a very good cause.
My chosen charity is the Chiltern Centre for Disabled Children, based in Henley-on-Thames. And it's a centre that supports local children, younger folk with learning and physical disabilities.
Well, I'm going to be doing battle for my chosen charity, which is Headway. Now, I just happen to be patron, and Headway do a fantastic nationwide job helping those poor folk who've suffered from debilitating brain and head injuries. It's not just the victims they help, but it's also all those affected, primarily the family. So I'm prepared to do battle for Headway.
Coming up on tomorrow's final showdown, Knocker Knowles comes out fighting.
The entire point of this programme is to give that Jonty Hearnden a damn good thrashing.
And Jonty Hearnden sets out to prove that he's the ultimate ladies' man.
It involves a harem.
A harem?
Yes, that's right. Me and a bunch of women.
And we'll find out which of our dueling duo is this week's Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is champion.
Ready for this?
OK.
1, 2, 3.